Today, I want to talk about common mistakes that people make when migrating to the UK. This will be relevant to nurses, to students, to any form of professional that is thinking or planning to move to the UK. These are some of the things that you should have in mind and some of the things that you should try and avoid and, prepare with when you are making the big move. So stay tuned and watch this video to the end. A lot of people don't take the time to research and know their destination properly, be it the whole UK as a whole or the particular city that you are moving into. People don't take the time to know their destination well enough to be able to even make the decision as to whether they genuinely want to live in that particular area. A lot of people just want to leave Nigeria, they are in a hurry to leave Nigeria. We've all been in that same position. You just want to leave as soon as possible. Anywhere you get to, you find yourself and you find your way. They don't take the time to research. I will just tell you today, take your time to do your research so that when you don't come here, you don't regret that you could have done some things differently. Take the time to find out about the weather during the particular time that you feel like you're going to be moving. Take the time to find out about what the weather says, if it is the winter or if it is summer, so that you can be able to shop and then prepare adequately for the kind of clothing that you're going to bring here. Also, you need to take the time to find out the realities of living in whatever city or town you're going to be moving to. Find out the social norms of the area, the security, transportation, school system if you have kids, and most importantly, the cost of living. The cost of living, this is the one where people always regret it later after moving in, when they find themselves moving to places like London, which is very expensive, and then they would have actually preferred to live in other suburbs or less crowded places where housing, transportation, and all that are rather cheaper. Don't do follow. Don't say that because you have a particular family member in London or maybe Cambridge or all these expensive and high-end places, you have a family there or you have a friend there, and because of that you feel like, oh, you can go there. In abroad, in UK, every man for himself, everyone, there's people are working, people are busy, people have family, so you will be responsible for yourself and you cannot come here and you will not be able to latch on to anybody. So don't move to a particular area solely because you have a family that is living in that area. Look at all the practicalities that are involved before you make your decision of where you want to move to. Even if your family member, you are living like how many miles away from each other, at least for that, you can always move later, you can always relocate. But at least for that first few months or first few years of you moving to the UK, you need to plan yourself well, so that you can have peace of mind and then you can really, really live that abroad life. Hope you understand what I'm trying to say. I know that doing research, especially when you want to move to another country, doing research about an entirely different country where you've never been to before, you've never visited especially, and you've never been there, it's difficult to understand the scope of the whole country. Everything you're just going to be researching is just based on paper, which is actually a good resource because you can find lots of information on the internet. Watching videos, even as simple as just typing on Google, you would see everything, the security, the cost of living on a particular area. However, it is still good for you to ask from people that are really on ground. What I mean is that people that are actually living in the area, those people can give you first-hand information of how it is living in a particular area. So if you have somebody in UK, for example, you can just call the person that probably you've gotten a job offer in London and ask the person, how is it like living in London? And then the person will be able to tell you first-hand information. Expensive, accommodation is expensive, it's crowded, and all those things. Similarly, if you get a job in any other place, or if you are going to school in any other place, get first-hand information from people. You can just meet people on the internet and just ask questions. What do you feel about this place? And they'll be able to give you answers. In summary, before you accept a job offer, before you accept probably to go to study in a particular university in a particular area, look at your pocket, family situation. If you are single or if you have children, look at the kind of personality you have. If you like living in a crowded place, or if you just like more of suburb, less crowded areas, then look at all those things. Factor all those things in before you make a decision on where you want to move to and when you want to settle down in. Another mistake that a lot of people make when moving abroad is not planning enough. I know that when you are in the process of migration and everything seems vague, it seems good to be true, and sometimes you don't know what date is going to be, when your visa interview, results, when your decision is going to come out, so you don't know. So you really don't know how to plan. You really don't know what things to put in place. That is one part. Another part is that some people just don't research on what to. They just carry their bag. They are coming all the way from Nigeria or any other African country to the UK, and they park as if they are going from Lagos to Ibadan or going to another city where they can just come back. So you need to plan. You need to plan adequately. You need to be organized. Moving abroad needs lots of planning and preparation. So actually, before you even start planning, like I said earlier, do your research. After you do your research, then you need to write a list of everything. Ask from people that have also migrated. Ask them, what are the things that you need to put in place? Do your research. Make a list of everything that you need to do. Research about the weather. Then do your shopping. Adequate clothing, food stuff, and most importantly, your documents. Don't go and travel and forget your documents. You know, all those things can be sent to you, but it's going to cost a lot of money that you've probably spent on the whole immigration process and you don't even have a lot of. So give yourself time, write a list, plan adequately, and take everything that you need to, take. This would prevent last-minute preparation, and it will ensure that you are on top of the whole planning and preparation. It will even reduce a lot of anxiety and headache, the nervousness and of moving to a new country, writing your OSCE if you're a nurse or any other exam that you need to write. Just be organized, plan and prepare, and everything will go smooth and hassle-free. When you're moving to UK as a nurse, after getting your job and everything, one thing a lot of people do is that they underestimate their financial needs when they get here. Many nurses underestimate the financial implications of moving abroad. Apart from even the money that you're going to spend on the whole process of moving, even getting here, the money that you're going to need to maintain yourself, at least for the first few months. Although it's not uncommon for employers to provide 1 or 2 months of free accommodation, but the thing is that you still need to feed yourself, you still need to transport yourself, you may still need to buy 1 or 2 things. So make sure you act from people, make sure you are realistic with the financial implications and hold enough money that will sustain you for at least 2 months. And this even gets tricky when you are coming with your family. Imagine a man or a woman coming with their spouse and probably 1, 2 or 3 children. Then the cost implication even becomes more, because in as much as some employers provide accommodation for their employees, the one that they are bringing from abroad, from Nigeria, they will not cater for the family members. They will not provide accommodation for your family. They will not provide accommodation for your children, feeding, schooling, transportation, and all other expenses. That is when it becomes tricky. So in that kind of situation, because if you don't pay for accommodation in this country, they'll kick you out. Prepare adequately. Don't underestimate the financial implications of coming here all together with your family, with your children, Plan very well and make sure you have enough money that will at least sustain you comfortably for 1 month, if not even 2 months, which will even be better. Cost of living for either you or for you and your family members would also increase depending on what area you're living to. If you are moving to somewhere like London now, expect to have more money in your pocket because you need to spend more, because those areas are expensive areas to live in. But if you are moving to an area that is, more cheaper, there are other cheaper areas, that is considerably cheaper than living in places like London, then, the less amount you have to spend on things like accommodation and other bills that you're going to need to pay. So factor that. So whenever you are considering the amount of money that you're going to need, make sure you need to put into consideration the particular area and the dynamics of the area that you are moving into. So I'm actually thinking about making a video talking about the cost of living in different places in UK, probably comparing places with high cost of living like London and other places, picking 2 places and telling you guys the cost of living in those areas and comparing them. I think that will give people like a visual representation of how cost of living in different places can severely vary, based on the dynamic of the area. So tell me in the comment section if you want to see a video like that, and I'm going to make it for you guys. Thank you guys for watching today's video. That's the end of this video, guys. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe in my channel. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.